Hi, it's Michelle Atkinson again, Environmental Horticulture Agent here in Manatee County. And we are going to do a label activity. On the exam, you're going to need to look through the label and be able to find some information. So if you would, please take a moment to go to the resource section of this module and print out the pesto label. So pause, take time to go look for the label. While you're doing that, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so now you've printed out the label and we're going to proceed with our presentation. So first of all, remember the label is the law. You may only apply the pesticide to the place that is stated on the label. You may not use a higher concentration than what is recommended on the label. You can use lower, but not higher. So you can mix fertilizer and pesticides together unless the label prohibits it. So if there's a problem with chemicals, the label is going to indicate in there, typically under like directions for use, you're going to find information on what can and cannot be mixed together, or what cannot be mixed together. And remember, the reason we restrict a chemical is because it is harmful to the environment or to people, which makes it restricted. And in that environmental hazards section, it typically talks about water. Remember that the same active ingredient in different labels may not be applied to the same place. So for the example, Roundup on land, rodeo in the water. They both have glyphosate as the active ingredient, but they're not labeled for the same area because of their inert ingredients. Remember that those wettable powders can dust up, and the wettable granules or dry flowables, we call them, are easier to measure and they don't dust up, so they're easier to mix too. Remember that EC stands for emulsifiable concentrate. And what is that? Well, that is when we take our product and mix it, and when we mix it, it becomes like thicker, like the consistency of mayonnaise, which helps us in those drift situations, so that it's a heavier chemical product or formulation, so that it drops faster and doesn't drift as easy. Remember that the product name can also indicate some information about that product. So in the case of Curinox 50 WP, the WP means wettable powder, the 50 means 50% active ingredient. So you can look at the names of products and get information about very quickly about that product. So let's look at Pendulum. See up here, it's Pendulum 3.3 EC. What's EC stand for? Emulsifiable concentrate, herbicide. So what does that 3.3 tell us? Well, if we look right here, it's telling us that for 1 gallon, it contains 3.3 pounds of pendimethalin. So it's giving you the concentration of the active ingredient. All right, so you have your pesto label. Let's look at a couple of things. So for this product pesto, what is the active ingredient? So look through your label. Pause if you need to take more time. So glyphosate is the active ingredient and it's at 41%. Now, next to the glyphosate, you see the N-phosphomethylglycine in its form, that is what's called the chemical name. That's not the common name. That's the chemical name of the active ingredient. Describe this product. Where would we find a description in the label about this product? If you look right up at the top under pesto herbicide, it gives you kind of a description about the product. And if you flip to page 2, or the second page, under general information, it also has a product description. So in several places you can find out information about this product. But when we look right up at the top under the pesto title, it tells us the complete broad spectrum post-emergent professional herbicide for industrial, turf, and ornamental weed control. Sorry, I got interrupted. So we'll pick up here. The complete broad spectrum post-emergence professional herbicide for industrial, turf, and ornamental weed control is the description of this product. What PPE are required to be worn by the applicator of this product? Where do we find that information? So if you look on the first page, the second column, you'll see personal protective equipment, PPE, and you can read through that section, and it states a long sleeve shirt, long pants, shoes, and socks. That is a typical caution label minimum requirement. So that seems to always be there. What is the trade name of this product? How is this product sold? Well, we talked about this in the label review, and that would be the trade name, what it's sold under, or brand name, which is pesto, right? So pesto herbicide. What is the EPA registration number of this product? Pause if you haven't found it yet. So if you look under pesto, under the description, it says complete directions for use, and it gives the EPA registration number right there. How much active ingredient does this product contain? So pause if you haven't found it yet. 41%. And remember, that was right under the ingredients, active ingredient next to glyphosate. If you go out, you'll see 41%. What's the maximum amount of this product that can be applied per year? Where do we even find that information? So you want to look through the label. Okay, so if you haven't found it yet, look on the second page. In the second column of the second page, come down to the middle of the page, and it talks about the annual maximum use rate. And you will find that first sentence has the statement 10.6 quarts of this product per acre per year. That's the maximum. Okay. So as you take your exam, make sure you read the label well for what they're asking for. Sometimes you can find the same answer in several parts of the label, but just take your time and read the label well, and you'll do fine. Thank you for listening to this presentation, and good luck as you move through the rest of this class, and good luck on your exam.